Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. I hope everybody is being very, very safe and and they're not drinking disinfectants. Let's just get that out there, and stay safe and stay smart. But since we've been in this little bit of a quarantine, just kind of everybody staying at home. I've been thinking about a lot of things that that I really wanted to share that I was going to come out with this year, talking about certain things about the golf swing, and I consider myself more of a forensic golfer, more like forensic research. I mean, I look at things and see things, and I like to test the validity of things, of why things are and what they are. The most important part of any golf swing is got to be the setup. If you set up to that ball properly, there is a good chance of whatever you're going to be able to play some good golf. You're going to be able to swing the club properly, and it starts with the setup. But we have a tendency to take the setup so much for granted. So something I'm going to show you here, something that I did, and this is totally different than the way they teach the setup. So, and I learned this looking at looking at some old films of coal miners, and then also some videos of, how you're in caves, in a sense, and how you got to keep your body low, and if you come up, you might bop your head or something of that nature. And and it starts teaching the body how to stay at a proper angle, or at an angle, whatever the depth of that angle may be. So, come closer. So here's what I want you to look at here. Now, when we set up to a golf ball, most people will take a club, and I see a club or something, and they teach this, that they lay across their back, in a sense. Well, I don't think that's the best way to do it. And the reason I don't think that's the best way of doing it, because we don't get a true depth or true understanding of what it is that we're trying to set up. So if you look at this picture here, you can see where I have the X on just the back, but yet I got a check mark here on the checkered line. The reason being is that when we're setting up properly, we have to set up to where the entire body can feel the sensation of setting up to the ball. And if you look at here, look at the body. Look how, if I go to make a swing, and if I stand up, my head is going to hit that. Well, the way our brain works in itself, when it can sense this type of depth, that's why it takes some creative visualization. When it can sense that, it'll stay in that posture, believe it or not. But unfortunately, and please, this is just my little quick drawings, but this is how we normally teach the setup in the golf swing, and how people are supposed to set up. Let me get this better. A little line there, a little line there, head there, arms there, feet there. See, we normally create the setup as we got a line here, and then we got a line there, and then because we're so much about the swing plane, that you normally set up like that. And if you notice, that's absolutely opposite of that. So what happens is that our brain and our body, it naturally adapts to what it feels and what it thinks. So if it's feeling this plane here, it's no reason that we automatically will pop up and jump up and straighten up in the golf swing like many people do. Now, in this, which is, normal, it's going to do that. Because we're so focused on swinging on this plane. Hogan talked about it, the plane down through here. We're so focused on, excuse my drawing, but we're so focused on swinging on the plane, but we can't swing on the plane unless we get the body on the proper plane to understand exactly how it stays in the foundation and what you create. For a fact, I always talk about how I create the setup. You can see that, in my book, Golf Setup for Success, that's on Amazon. You can find it there. Nice little ebook. But once you learn how to set up properly and understand how the body sets up, and you can make your angle, whatever you want. Let me excuse this. And this is depending on what your body is. You can make your angle to whatever you need it to be. But it has to be a complete and full angle. It just cannot be just a little piece of angle, but it has to be the entire, my drawing is not that good, but it has to be the complete and full angle, because this is what we're trying to experience. We're trying to experience right through here, this feeling right through there. It's kind of like I said when I said earlier, when I was thinking about coal miners, And if any of that you all know about coal miners, you know, they might be working in a 4 or 5 foot area where they have to stay bent over the whole time. And anytime they lift their head, boom. Now, I will not lie. When you first do this, you know, you're going to feel a little tension in your back and stuff because you're probably not used to this. And the more people I see up and down the range, their postures and understanding about the setup is, oh, it's so bad that, you know, that it leads to all these unwanted compensations in the golf swing. Jack Nicklaus said it is, if you get the setup properly, learning the golf swing is not that hard. So this is my, you know, I mean, I probably could make some money off of this, to tell the truth, but this is just about, you know, as people get better at the game of golf, as I said, they'll spend more money, they'll understand it better, they'll appreciate it better. So what you do, and you know, learn how to set up in this angle, like I told you, not off of your back, because when you lay a shaft on your back, it only goes across your back, but it doesn't encapsulate all of this area down in here and all of that. So, you know, you, like I said, you find yourself popping up out of shots, but here you can visualize that if you pop out, you're going to smack your head up against the wall there. So, you know, over time, you just learn how to stay in that posture. And here's the greatest thing about it. Everybody calls it the thinking box. Here's the beauty of this. You can actually visualize this every time you step up to a golf shot. You actually can visualize that already at the ball, and you can walk into that position, not just walking into, you know, quote unquote square a hitting box. You know, that's on the ground. That ain't got nothing to do with your posture. This has everything to do with your posture. And the better you can maintain your posture in the golf swing, the better you can play golf. So like I said, you know, give that a try. And I'm telling you, right, this is something, and you know, I work in absolutes. That's, you know, I know people say, no absolutes in golf. I can show you so many things that are absolute because we spend so much time talking about the golf swing, about our differences, but we never talk about all the things that we do absolutely alike. The objective is to strike the golf ball, and that's the same for everybody. We hold the golf club with our hands. That's the same for everybody. Club face strikes the ball. That's the same for everybody to a defined target. We stand on our feet. That's the same with everybody. We see with our eyes. That's the same with everybody, except the blind, in a sense. But, you know, you got to throw that in there. You know, it's just all these things are absolutely alike. It's just a few little things here and there that we can all call our own personal idiosyncrasies, in a sense. But they can't get away from what the basics are. So what you truly need to do, as I said before, get a good setup and understand why you are setting up. Don't just set up. Understand why you are setting up, as I've defined it right there. Once again, this is Charles Calhoun, a.k.a. the Shade Tree Pro. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You know, I enjoy that. And always stay safe.